Hello, West Hills College faculty. This is SLOs, and this is looking at results. So this is a dive, somewhat of a deep dive into how to take a look at your assessment results compared to other faculty members, as well as just general discipline results. So we have that to deal with here. So let's go for it here. So as you log into Lumen, I'm going to go in as a faculty member in mathematics. This is your first screen you come up with usually. This is courses and assessments that are due. All right, with that in mind, let me show you two ways to get there first, and then we'll see because we'll use we'll use the first way a little bit later on. So first things first, one way to get to the assessment results is to click on assessments. And this is going to take you to the SLO screen. These are all the SLOs that are in your discipline. And of course, this is taking a little bit longer. I think it's trying to record and go to websites at the same time. But notice you have this right here. You have the assessments tab. So under SLOs and assessments, there's your SLOs for your discipline. And there's your assessments. So clicking on assessments. So these are going to be assessments that are in your discipline. This is the assessments library. The one thing that I want you to do is go over here under plan terms and just click on select all. For some reason, it's turned off, but you should have select all. So if you scroll down, you can try to find it, but notice you have pages here as well, right? So one that you can find, we're going to take a look at the other way around as well here. So let's go to Math 61. So I'm going to type in 61. Notice all the Math 61s come up. And if I click on it, and I'm going to look at results explore. That's one way to get it. We're going to go through it the other way. We should see the same exact results as we go through it the other way here. So there it is. Great. Okay, that's one way to get them. Okay, let's go the other way to get the same exact chart here. So again, SLO assessments. Still going to wait. Sorry about the wait. All right, clicking on assessments. And I want to show you one more thing here. All right, as I said earlier, these are the assessment results of your discipline. So it could be that let me just show it to you here. So I'm going to click on select all. And I have never taught Math 10A, but I'm going to click on here. And look at that. It looks like it was planned for fall 2019, 2020, 21. And I'm going to click on this one here and look at Results Explore. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to say this, no data available for these widgets. Please select one or more sections. What does that mean? That means because I'm listed as a faculty member, I have never done an assessment of Math 10A. Therefore, this is not available to me because I'm in faculty mode. So there's no way for me to get the data as a faculty member. So we'll figure out a way to get that data as well. So there it is, SLO assessment results. And these are SLOs that are inside the discipline. But the normal way, and as a faculty member, the normal way you're going to go through it is you're going to go through the Results Explore tab. So as a faculty member, that's the tab you want. Because you're looking at yourself compared to others, or you're looking at your assessment results. That's what you want to see. And so we go down here. The first thing what I want you to see is you do have pages here. And it looks like you have 10 entries per page. There's at least, at the most, there's 40 entries. So what you can do is you can expand this out. I just usually drop it into 100. And you can see all of them all at once if you're trying to find something particular or you're trying to see, like Math 45 is kind of interesting. There's some that are planned, some that are not. I want to take a look at that, especially if you're sort of like thinking through or maybe cleaning up the list of when something was assessed. If you have doubles of something, that would be the best way to do it here. Okay. So there it is. You can just expand the list out. But normally what you're going to do is you're going to click on here. You're going to, and I want to show you something here real quick here. So if you click on this tab, notice everything is selected. If I scroll down the list, I have Math 61, 63. So these are all the classes that I have ever did assessments for. All right. So compared to others as well. So Math 45, Math 25. So notice the Math 10A did not show up here. There's no Math 10A here. So that's odd. It's because I've never assessed 10A. So this is classes that I have assessed at least once sometime. All right. The other thing we should note is the terms they were assessed are right here. All right. So let's go with it here. Probably the easiest way to do it is just select none. So you deselect everything. And then what you do is you go to the one that you want to select right away. So you can just scroll down, select that one, select that one. I'm going to choose this one as the example because we used it before. Right there. Click off of it sometime on the screen and you click on it. As soon as you click on it, you're going to get to the Results Explorer window. There it is. Hey, notice it's the same exact results that were there before. All right, so let's go for it. Let's view this here. So first things first, you are looking at my sections versus course overall. That's what you want to look at. You don't want to look at term by term progress. That's one. Second thing is it'll show you all the different times this was assessed. So notice it's only once assessed. We'll get to another one where it's multiple times, but notice you got this big block. So that just means it was assessed only once and it was in the fall of 18. If you click on here, you're going to notice the average score, which is 86.21. That was the average score for this assessment. All right. And then if you look over here, you can take a look at your own selections. So if you did multiple courses or classes of this course, then they'll be listed right over here. We'll take a look at one a little bit later on. But in fall of 2018, I taught Math 61 and it was C05. All right, now get to the fun stuff here. I don't know why it refreshed there. So here's what you want to see right over here. So the dashed lines are the overall for all the math teachers that assessed that semester. So notice just a few things. If you pop up to the little white line or the blue line or any of the line, or you go inside this little square, you're going to get the same exact little pop-up window. And so let's go for it here. So let's see. So I'm kind of looking at this window here. So notice the dashed lines are the overall scores from all the teachers that taught this class or that assessed this class. And so looks like to me is that I don't give that many A's compared to my department. I have very little A's. B's. Let's see how I do overall over here. On the end over here, I'm kind of the same as far as proportions are concerned. Maybe not. Let's see. For me, I gave 7% almost of the class got F's and 7% got D's for me. Overall, 2% got B's and D's. F's and D's, sorry. For me, about 20% got C's. 34% got B's, and 31% got A's. Overall, teachers, 76% got an A, 12% got a B, all that. So interesting. So maybe a little bit more of a tough grader on that. Don't know. All right, so there's the results. That was the best way to sort of see you compared to the other teachers. All right, and only you can see this score. This is not available to the data steward, not available anywhere else except only at the faculty level. And it's only the one that is logged in. So that's just a good way to sort of see things. And then if you look back over here, it says how many were assessed. There was one assessment. So I'm the only one that assessed. Oh, sorry. These are the assessments that were taking place. Got it. All right, so another thing that I want you to show you is the table view. So click on table view, and you're going to see the numbers themselves in comparison. So the numbers above, the big, large text numbers, are the section performances right in that section. So A's. So 31% got A's. 34.4% got B's. So these are my numbers. Looks like the measurement default is there right there. And then the numbers that we saw last time that were there. Okay, and then underneath it, there is the faculty reflections. So this is written by me, looks like. Yeah, me right here. And I talk about the fact that the students really got stuck on fractions. So I want to introduce fractions more often in the class. That's a respondent view. So if other faculty members responded, there'll be other reflections right over here as well. Looks like there was none. So, and then you can have the question view. So right over here, it's going to be a question and then any other comments per question is going to be listed right underneath here. That's what you want to see. All right. If you make this little star, I'm not sure what the star does yet. It's supposed to go to another window or so. Okay, so there it is. Hopefully that was a good piece there. Let's look at another course. Go back to Results Explorer. So notice that one was only assessed once. Let's get to one that was assessed multiple times, and we'll kind of see what happens here. So I'm going to go back to Results Explorer window, click on None. I'm going to scroll down to Math 15. All right, and notice there are multiple times this was planned. And I'm going to say very correctly here, this is planned terms, which means that it was supposed to be planned and it had a assessment shell given to it in Illumin. Well, let's see what happens here. All right, so let's take a look at pieces here. So first things first, my sections versus course overall. That's great. The two terms that we're looking at is that and that and that. And then you can actually even select all. Let's see. Interestingly enough, to sort of see what's there. No, it didn't change anything. Okay. So it looks like spring 19 and fall 19. Now notice real quick, if you go down here, you get a 0. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that no one was assessed. An assessment shell was made. Could have been even on the schedule, or it might have been on the schedule incorrectly. But no one made an assessment here. You taught the class. It was made to be assessed or made an assessment shell, but was never assessed. Let's take a look at a few things here first, though. So notice if I deselect this, there's a whole bunch of things happening. So notice my assessment results are the same as my results. There it is, 36%, 27%, 18. So that means the collected tests so far is counting from spring 19. And there's no results in 19. And I was the only one that assessed it because notice my dashed lines and the solid lines are in the same exact spot. So these are just my results. No one else had this assessment. Notice what I do is I add spring 2020. And whoa, there's a difference now, right? What does that mean? Okay, so these are my results from spring 19. There's no spring 2020 because there was no assessment shell made for me for spring 2020, but another teacher in the spring of 2020, they assessed the Math 15 class. And based upon their assessment, now the data is different. So notice they gave a lot more A's. I don't know, maybe I just don't give enough A's. So notice the overall trend is 54%, B's 17%-ish, and C's are about 12%. So there, notice there's a change here. So there was another teacher that assessed him in spring 2020. Okay, let me get this little out. I'm going to show you some other stuff. So get back to this piece. So I just want to take a look at my results. Since I know these guys are the same, these are just my results, and I can go back over here. Now I can go back and say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the fall Math C01 class. Oh, notice the little bar. So that means it was only assessed once, right? There's only one single semester. There's no performance or longitudinal comparison to any performance. So that's there. Next, what else do I know? These guys are both the same, right? And then I can do is I can now go into individual classes. So you know what? I actually want to see how the Kalinga class to only perform. There it is. Just the Kalinga class. Oh, and then come down here. I notice my overall, that was mine, right? And now I have a comparison of the class that I taught versus the overall. So C01, maybe let's compare the Fireball class. Let's see, I'm going to unclick this one. Actually, no, maybe the second. Now, it doesn't do a class by class comparison, right? It only does a class comparison to the whole. So notice, oh, no data here. Whoa, what happened there? So the Math 15 C02 class, there's no data for that class. That class was not assessed. As a face-to-face class. All right, so that was interesting. Okay, so that means on the Fireball class. Take a look at that level. All right, there's data. There's data for the Fireball class. And notice there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. So let's take a look at this here. So 33% of the class got A's and 67% got C's. There's A's and C's only. Okay, what is that talking about? It just talking about the fact that probably very, very few students. Maybe there was only 3 students or 6 students in the class. So maybe one got A. If there's 3 students, one got an A and 2 of them got C's. That's what we're looking at. Okay, and then the table view. If you want to take a look at the numbers themselves. And there's no responses here. All right. And again, there's your just this class only, right, compared to the other class. All right. I think I'm going to go back to here, my own assessments. And you got the table view. Okay, let's do one more. So there's some people that did not, or I did not fill out the reflection template here. Let's go back up to Results Explored. I want to show you one more thing here. Is that sometimes, especially earlier on from 2018, when we changed our assessment templates or reflection templates, what we did is we deactivated classes. So there are inactive assessments. Could be, if you don't find what you're looking for, it could be that it's an inactive assessment. So this one tells you, oh yeah, so let me give you this some history here. So notice Math 25. Math 25, we've been assessing from 2018. And there's 6 more as well. That's all the times that we assessed it. But we found out that our assessment template was wrong. And so what we had to do is we had to make this inactive and start another one. But I do want to show you this one here. So you can find kind of like the old ones that were there before. And let's kind of run through this one because this one would have a lot of data because we teach Math 25 quite a bit. All right, with more data, it does need to cycle a little bit more because it's actually pushing out data. It's not pre-built at all. So yes, there it is. That's great. That looks good. So things to include, there it is. So these are the times that I taught the class and it was up for assessment, or at least the shell was made, and comparing it to that only. Good. If you want to compare, so maybe right here, fall of 2020, maybe another teacher, instructor, taught the class and assessed it, but I'm not comparing myself to that data unless I want to. And I can select all, and that'll be just fine. All right. My classes that have ever been assessed, there they are, or set up for assessment. The only thing is, see, in spring of 22, I don't want that data because then it skews up my data, skews up my graph. So let me do this here. Let me go back and I'm going to uncheck this right here. You know, that's a lot better. Okay, so notice it's not going to zero anymore. This little line right here, this little gray line, that's my 70%. That's my performance measure. So now I can go back over here. So average was 75% here. In the fall of 21, the average performance went up to 94.12. This is the average, right? And then we went down to 71.43. Okay. Me compared to the rest of the group, there it is. I give a little less A's, I give a little bit more B's, I give a little more C's. That's kind of what I'm looking at for me. Okay. So notice if I go over here, there were, 3 assessments and 3 that's not complete assessment, which means not every single part of the reflection template was made, or maybe there was a student, like one data piece that was missing. That's what the incomplete means. So reflection is missing, or one student did not get a grade. There was something off with the data itself, but we don't mind too much on that. If you go to the table view, it'll list out the numbers themselves. So notice it's a comparison. And you can kind of see like that's how many C's we had in the fall. That's you compared to the overall. Okay, and then if you go down here, nobody responded. Oh, there it is. There's some responses of assessment. Yes, assessment aligned well. Okay, it is aligned. Good. Okay, aligned. Better scores online than regular class. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and then again, not at this time. Okay, if you want to show the question view of it, let's see if that changed it. No, or for some reason, let me do like this. Okay, there it is. That's better. So per question. So there it is. If you want to go per question. So focus on the assessment itself. Yes, it's aligned. It's aligned. It's aligned. There it is. And it's by me. I guess I was the only one that filled out the assessment template. And I'm not sure if it's maybe like more here. Most were at level B. Okay, that's me. Interesting. There were almost 2 groups, one that got good grades and the others that got lower grades. So by modal, at least my grades were. Okay, and then there it is. Oh, that's student reflections. We don't have student reflections on ours. That's why that didn't come up. All right. So hopefully that gave you a good intro comparing yourself to the rest of the group and all the nuances of it. All faculty at West Hills College, Coalinga, since you're a faculty member, you also have another login to Illumin, and it is called something called a course coordinator. So let's do that one. Course coordinator now is a higher end view of the same class or courses. All right, so I'm going to change mine to mathematics. And if you don't have this as a login, contact me and I will make sure that you get that. So I'm a math instructor. I should have a course coordinator. So it's one notch above faculty member. All right, but notice also we just lost the results explore button. It's gone. So what we had to do is we got to go through the SLOs and assessments button only. We've seen that before already. We're going to click on assessments. And so now this is a discipline-wide view of the department. Okay, we're going to go exactly what we did last time here. We're going to click on this and we're going to select all. So we have all the different types. All right, and let's get to the course. Remember that course that I did not get results for? Remember I believe it was 10A. 10A, never taught it before. I've never assessed it before as a faculty member. But because I'm in the course coordinator view, now I can take a look at the results. Now I see, oh, wow, look at that. 1, 2, it's been assessed, or at least the plan, the assessment shell plan has been set up for this course for 19, 20, and 21. Click, oh, look at that. There's your results explore button. And we click on that. Let's see what we get. Last time it said no widgets available. This time, perfect. Notice what I see. I see the data. Okay, what do we know up front? So first things first, fall of 2020, it was made but not assessed. Now also this one does not have percentages. It has numbers now. So if you click on it real quick here, this is the number of students assessed. So you have a count and you also have a percentage. So in fall of 19, there was 50 students that got assessed with the 10A assessment. And then there were 6 students. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to go and undo. Notice terms is over here now. Let's undo that one because it just messes up the data. Okay, now I see. Okay, but this is still students, right? There's number of students. I don't want that. Who cares about that? I'm looking at percentages. So over here, instead of count, you're going to flip it to percent. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I got it. So in the fall of 19 with 15 students, the average for that assessment was a 62.5. And as I go over here, 2 years later, oh, wow, the 6 students that was there, they got 100. That's perfect. So they got 100. So now notice there's no comparison, right? I've never taught this class. There's no comparison here to the course, but I do have some percentages there. Okay. And I can get this. So notice underneath here, there's nothing here, right? So I scroll up real quick here. I can click a table view, and now I can kind of see. Yeah, right there. That's how many in the fall. And there was 2 NAs. So 2 people did not take the assessment. And I had 6 students that took the assessment. Then you can break down that into what do you want here. And then also underneath here, you should have responses if they filled out the reflection templates. There it is. There's, oh, Scott Wilson filled it out right there. Scott Wilson again filled this one out. And Scott Wilson again. Looks like he teaches this course. All right. And if you would just want to see, instead of spreading it out like that per respondent, if you want to just go by question and kind of see the flow of the answer to the particular question, that's even better. So here it is. The test itself, is it aligned? Yes. I believe it's valid. It's valid. Okay. Then the results. Did you find things surprising? No, nothing unexpected. Students did well. Nothing unexpected. Students did well. And then, does it need to be any assessment improvement? No. All right, so again, this is a class I've never taught before, but I can dig in to the data on it if need be. All right, and over here, I don't know who taught the class, right, unless the name is stated there, right? And I'm not sure the reflection templates belong to which, oh, you can, I guess, look by date, I guess. You can tell by then when it was entered. All right, I hope that helps there. With this, let me look at one more thing. I'm going to go, again, course coordinator in mathematics. I'm going to go back to assessments. And maybe we were looking at those inactive SLOs, right? SLOs that have been deactivated here. We can still take a look at those as well. So again, select all. And I'm looking for Math 25 this time. So notice it only gives me those pieces there. So if you want to, you can display the inactive assessments as well. So this is what we did, up until spring 2023. In fact, we have 2 of them we had to get rid of. We made it and then we realized there was a mistake in it. So we had to recreate one. So let's just click on this one. Look at results explore. Oh, no, sorry. I wanted to take a look at the older ones right here. This one right here, when we started, just this one should have a lot of data on it. We have assessed this every single semester for a long time. I'm hoping that eventually data will, this kind of data would look like that. All right, so this is good data here. First things first is when the count is really good because you can get rid of the ones that have 0. So that's a 0. That one has 6 students. Okay. That one has a 0. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to deselect spring 2020. I don't want that one. Now I want spring of 2023. Okay, good. So I've got rid of all the assessments that were made but not assessed. And now let me take a look at my percent. Okay, so there it is. Looks like we did good. We did good. We fell below in spring of 22, 66.67, and went from there. Distribution of grades out. There it is. And notice it stops there, right? So then if you go back up here, click on the table view, and now you can kind of see the results here. And notice on the bottom, it does say it went up and went down, right? The criteria. Okay, breakdown of the scores themselves, 49, 16, and 17. And then here, there should be a whole bunch of respondents per question, right? So per question, if you want to scroll through them, there's some non-respondents here. And there's some respondents there. There it is. And it tells you who responded as well. And then we go from there. And then, so again, a lot of data to look at. This is really good. There's part-time faculty responding as well. That's perfect. All right. And I'm going to scroll up real quick here. Hopefully it doesn't make you dizzy, but hopefully that was a good introduction to SLO results at the course level.